Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special episode here of the Oreninc podcast. I think it's episode number 13. It's a special edition, live from the Precious Metal Summit here in Beaver Creek, Colorado. I'm joined today again by Mickey Fulp and Paul Harris. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me.
Thanks once again, Kai.
Thanks,
Good
Kai.
to see you, Paul.
Hi, Mickey.
Good to hang out at the conference.
So far, 2 really busy days, I think. We've all been in meetings pretty much all day. It's been interesting. A lot of buzz going on. We've briefly talked about it. But before we talk about the conference, I just quickly want to touch on the Oreninc Index and what we've seen in the last few days. I think it has to do with the conferences coming up, the Precious Metal Summit here and the Denver Gold next week. But we've seen a massive drop-off in financings. Last week, the index dropped down to 25 points, which is pretty much the summer level. I am assuming it has to do with really the conferences here because all the investment bankers are here, all the brokers are here, or quite a few brokers are here out here in Beaver Creek. So books are closed for the week, I'm assuming, and everybody's looking for new deals. That's pretty much from the Oreninc Index side. Just like I'm expecting, based also on what we've seen here, activity pick up again right after Denver Gold, when everybody's back at their desks. But let's talk about the Precious Metal Summit and what we've seen here over the last couple of days. And Paul, why don't we start with you? What were your impressions of the last couple of days? What made an impression in your mind?
Well, I guess one of the first thing that has struck me is last year there was a very buoyant, euphorious mood. Markets are coming back, funding starting to come back. People could survive and start doing work again. This year the attitude seems to be much more workmanlike. People have money, people are spending money, drilling, doing studies, shirt sleeves rolled up, advancing their projects. So that's been a sort of noticeable sort of change for me this year. A second thing to that is a lot of companies are talking about, I think, spinning out non-core assets that they see they're not getting value for. Several of the meetings I've had, companies are talking about doing that, and so I think there's going to be some spin-offs or IPOs in the final quarter of this year.
And in terms of activity, it's quite fitting. We're sitting here in the booth of Cisco, and I think they have 30 drills turning on Windfall right now, and another 15, I think, at Barkerville. So yes, people are working, people are active, so that fits quite well.
Yeah, I had a meeting today with SolGold, and they're going up from 2 rigs to 10 rigs.
Interesting. Mickey, what are you seeing here?
I'm seeing something a little different. Maybe it's because of what I focus on. What I'm seeing is appetite that existed last year, still here. That appetite was not satisfied last year because we had immediate, after this conference, by the end of the year, or mid-December, we had a $150 drop. It feels like, to me, it has a more substantial base this year versus a bunch of euphoria and glad handing and this idea, well, we're finally out of a bear market that we saw last year and we're good to go. I think it's has a little bit more reality to it this year, perhaps, and I'm seeing lots of new deal flow, and when in conjunction with what you're saying, there's spin outs, there's acquisitions of projects that we had forgotten about that produced gold in the 1980s and 1990s. I'm seeing, and it may have to do because I'm an American and I like to focus on that as what I consider the best geopolitical jurisdiction in the world, especially with the Trump administration, which is now a can-do administration versus, oh, we can't do that. So I'm seeing deal flow. I'm seeing new companies spring up with the right people, and people know how to manage share structure, and the right projects in the U.S., specifically in gold, and I'm very encouraged by that fact.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly there, Mickey. I think money's active, it wants to get in, but it's obviously looking for the right opportunities or the right management teams or projects. And I think in recent months, we've seen that companies that do put out very good results have been rewarded by substantial increases in their stock prices as people come in. Because it's still a lack of really good stories. There's not that many of them.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good stories, but the stories that I am seeing, I shouldn't say all of them, but I'm seeing some really nice stories, and I go, oh man, that's a no-brainer. I want to be in on that. And and there's oftentimes you don't see that. I didn't see that much of things that I go, oh, I need to be in that last year. Now I'm seeing things that I want to be on
You're
the
excited
president. I want to
about.
be on the president's list, sort of stuff. And I didn't feel that last year, and I do this year. Maybe it's just my circle of people that I deal with, and they've had some success, and they've done spin outs, or they're going on to their next venture, and they've got the wherewithal, the knowledge, the share structure, ability to manage share structure, ability to raise money, and they're coming to the forefront right now, I think. So I'm pretty happy with this state of this business right now.
Yeah, it's definitely maturing, right? And I'm just looking at my meeting list, and it seems like a lot of old companies are being recycled and are coming back. Like I'm just looking at a Golden Predator, for example. They've been dead for a while, and now I'm meeting them tomorrow, so I can't say anything about that yet. But in that category, quite a few companies are having a revival.
Yeah, I bumped into Matthew Horner today, and he's now president and CEO of, I think it's called Orvista in Quebec, 3 million ounces. Again, it's been there for a while, and new blood's coming in to reinvigorate. He's really strengthened the technical team, and I'm hopefully going to meet up with him later on to find out more about that. But that's symptomatic of what we're talking about.
I'm not going to talk about the ones that I've seen I really like, because they're not really done deals yet.
You want to get your orders
in. And so
Well, we turn off the microphone in a minute.
And, well, I'm a big caution in the fact that you don't know that they're going to work or not, but there's things in progress that are very attractive to me.
No, it's just I think I've been given some numbers by Nancy, one of the organizers here at the conference. So we're seeing roughly 1,000 people are attending this year, which is up from 700 and 750 last year. So we're up a good 30% in attendance. I've noticed that myself, because all of a sudden I'm facing 3 people instead of 1 in my meetings. 154 companies, hundreds of people and companies have been turned away. There's a lot of people lingering around outside the conference, which is good and bad, I guess. But it shows the success of the conference, and especially for the junior miners. I think this is one of the conferences to be at, and it's been proven. Like over the last couple of days, it's proven to me again it's worth a trip coming up from Germany, just even for a couple of days. So I think if you have some closing remarks on the conference, I think we can.
Well, there's your number, so let's give give Paul his number.
Well, my number, I spent yesterday in presentations, and my number is 100%. 100% of the companies that I saw present said they were undervalued. I mean, as Kai says, there's 154 companies in. If they're all saying they're undervalued, how are they looking to differentiate themselves and attract investor interest? They need to think a bit harder and be a bit more innovative in how they're presenting themselves.
And not everybody here is undervalued. There's a couple of exploration plays that look significantly valued, if you will, and they better deliver good real results, I would say.
So what's your number?
Well, my number is 7. My favorite number, of course. My name is Mickey. I was a baseball player. I always wore 7 on my back, and Americans and Canadians will understand that concept. So that's got to do with the fact that the venture index closed today at 777.77.
Really?
And so 5 sevens, and I hope that's lucky. In the English-speaking world, 7 is the favorite number. Yeah. And what we've seen here is we've seen commodity prices front run stocks, and that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it happens the opposite way. Sometimes they go up or down in tandem, but the commodities prices that significantly front ran or overran the stock market. The GDX is not up, GDXJ, whatever you think about that, is not up. The venture exchange has been flat now for a couple of months. So we thought after Labor Day that would all come back pretty quickly, and it hasn't. So So I think it's due.
Yeah, no, I'm still very optimistic. Just to touch
Well,
on that,
yeah,
just real
absolutely.
quick. It seems like a lot of deal flow is sort of bottled up and just ready to explode, I think. So that's confirming what everybody's seen here at the conference. Paul, Mickey, like a couple of last words. Otherwise, we're
No, I was just going to add to your comment, Kai, because companies have been working and spending their money, a lot of them are going to have to come back to market and before the end of the year or early new year. So deal flow.
Yeah, no, I heard a lot of financings are being prepared right now. So perfect. Gentlemen, as always, thanks for your time. Time for beer.
It's time for, it's beer 30, I think.
It's beer o'clock. Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care.